Many of us here are survivors or children of survivors. Just yesterday, we buried a woman herself who was a survivor.
How old?
She was 94 years old. And as I buried her yesterday in Brooklyn, I said that we're not only burying her, but when she was 14 years old was the last time she saw her two brothers and her mother. And all the rest of her town of Svalova in Czechoslovakia that we're effectively putting to rest right now. This is not just burying one woman, we're burying a piece of history. Like you said, this is too raw, too fresh in our own minds for us to actually be objective about this story. And I think it's incredible that we have this opportunity here tonight to be able to hear and experience this explanation with you.
Let me ask you a question. What is it about survivors that they all live into their late 90s? I'm serious.
Because they survived.
What does that mean? If you want to live to 90, you should go through hunger, deprivation, anti-Semitism, a few beatings. What? No, really, what does this mean? How is it that they outlive everybody? I was speaking in Texas somewhere on a Shabbos night, and before me, there was a woman speaker who was being honored because she had just come back from Israel, where she donated $5 million to the Israeli Magen David Adom. And they introduced her as a survivor. I get up to speak, and there's nothing I can say after that. She told her whole story, how she was in an orphanage and refused to bow and refused to say the prayers, even though she was a young kid. They eventually got upset with her and sent her into a concentration camp. She talked about the deprivation, the hunger, the pain, and how she survived and so on. They introduced her as a survivor. So when I got up to speak, I skipped my whole lecture. I said, I just want to say one thing. You cannot describe these people as survivors. It's the wrong word. A guy swims across the Rio Grande and doesn't get eaten by an alligator, that's a survivor. A person who comes out of a holocaust, starts a family, starts a business, makes lots of money, donates $5 million to the Red Cross, you calling her a survivor? Come on. No more Holocaust survivors. They're Holocaust heroes. Survivor is such a pitiful word. Does not describe them at all. So then, hold on a second. I finish speaking, I go back to my seat. And at this table, there's a family with a teenage boy. She's sitting at the table, the rabbi is sitting at this table, and this teenage boy says, "When do we eat already? I'm starving." Then he looks at her and says, oh, I'm sorry. You're starving because you haven't eaten in hours. So these are not survivors. These are heavenly heroes. They're awesome. And they deserve to live to be 100.
The lady who passed yesterday has an aunt who's 103 years old in Delray Beach, and she's going strong playing canasta and mahjong. Also, a Holocaust hero.
Yeah. It's almost like God says, those years that you were suffering, they don't count. They don't count. They're not part of your lifespan. Because that was not life. So you're going to live many years more to make up for those painful years. Anyway, the point of it is this. We are a light to the nations. We are the chosen people. If anybody doubts that, don't talk to them. If at this point in history, somebody says, what makes you the chosen people? This conversation is over. You're too ignorant to be part of this conversation. If you don't know that the land of Israel belongs to the people of Israel. Go back to school. What do you know? Oh, this guy was telling me, Israel should, blah, 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 blah. I said, wait. Do you know what a woman is? He says, it's not simple. I said, then I don't care for your opinion about what Israel should do. Go figure out what a woman is. No, really, I'm serious about this. We felt so obligated out of a sense of inferiority that we have to justify. Oh, you think you're the chosen people? Yeah, we're the chosen people. Well, what makes you so chosen? I don't care. Leave me alone. I'm not justifying myself. If you don't know we're the chosen people, what do you know? What do you know? And the best proof of it is when they were talking about moving the embassy, the United States Embassy, from Tel Aviv to Yerushalayim. I'm sure you remember, everybody panicked. This is going to cause a bloodbath. There's going to be riots all over the world. It's going to be horrible. It's not worth it. Just stay in Tel Aviv. They moved the embassy. What happened? Nothing. So disappointing. No reaction? Why? Because everybody knows, come on, the capital of Israel is Jerusalem. Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? So when you do the right thing and you say the truth, what are people going to say? They know it's true. They know it's true. They're just puzzled why we're not saying it. So one final story. In the beginning of this war and the campus protests, there was a protest on a campus on the East Coast. It was particularly nasty. It wasn't pro-Palestinian, it was pro-Hamas. Openly, blatantly, the Jewish community on campus were so horrified that they were paralyzed. They couldn't think of a reaction. Until one of the professors, the Jewish professor, got up and started screaming and telling them what's what. The police came and arrested him to protect him. The next morning he comes to class to give his lecture. A student comes over to him and hands him a bouquet of flowers. He says, "What is this?" She says, "I was so proud of what you did yesterday, I just had to get you some flowers." Now this professor, everyone knows he's Jewish, everyone. And everyone also knows that he is an atheist, because he makes sure to let everyone know, like it's a religious obligation, to let everybody know that he is an atheist. So she says to him, "I was so proud of what you did yesterday." He says, "You're Jewish?" She says, "No." He says, "So what do you mean you're proud?" She says, "What I mean is, it was so good to see the chosen people acting chosen." He says, "You know I don't believe that." And she says, "Whether you believe it or not, we know it's true." Can we convince the average non-Jew anywhere in the world that we are not the chosen people? They know. When we don't say we're the chosen people, they're mystified. So what are you hiding? What are you up to? What are you plotting? Why can't you tell us who you are? We know who you are. It's time to tell the truth. And that's what we're doing. All over the world, people are saying, Am Yisrael Chai. No debates. No explanations of why we have the right to Israel. That's over. So if you move the embassy, everybody is going to say, yeah. The capital of Israel is Jerusalem. Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that we're the chosen people? Who doesn't know that we are a light to the nations? I got a guy from New Guinea. Ever been to New Guinea? Of course not. Nobody goes there. He's online. He's a native of New Guinea. And he says, in broken English, "You are the light to the world. Why aren't you here? We need to learn Torah." That's what he said, Torah. I didn't volunteer. But this guy and his wife put up a building with a big sign, Center for the Study of Torah, in a village in New Guinea, in the jungle. In the jungle, because he says that in order to go online, he has to walk 8 hours to where there's internet. Then he walks back 8 hours and shares what he heard. 1 hour of lecture, he shares it with his villagers. Everyone was so amazed, all the other people on the Zoom. They immediately said, "We're getting together some money, we're buying you a bicycle, we'll ship it over, make it." He says, the roads that I have to walk on, you can't use a bicycle. The world is so eager to hear what we have to say. And if we play humble, they're going to hate you. Don't play humble. You're a Jew, you know, tell us. You are the light to the nations. You are the chosen people. Don't tell me you don't know. They don't believe you. So we got to know. They're going to come knocking on your door. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. These ideas, these messages, this approach to life, this approach to Torah, to meaning, and to morals is vital for the world today. And we need to get this message out to the entire world. It is universal, it's essential, it's indispensable. To support this effort, if you want to be a partner in this crime, check out the link and make a donation. It really helps a lot. And thank you in advance.